Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is Asad Yaqub, and today I'm going to teach you a very important and very confusing question type in Ielts listening part 3. Guess what? Multiple choice in part 3, where out of 5 options you have to select 2 options. That's what we are going to do now. So questions 27 and 28. Choose 2 letters A to E. Which 2 things surprise the students about the traffic light system for nutritional labels? If you haven't watched the previous video, you must watch that also, because this is the continuation of the test. Total there are 6 videos in this test. So which 2 things surprise the students about the traffic light system? In the audio they will discuss traffic light system for the nutritional labels of the things. So 2 things were surprising about that. A, its widespread use. If they say it is not used universally, or it is only used in limited countries, limited places, then A is not the right answer. But if they say it has global use, it is used all over the world, then A is the right answer. And say, you will be surprised to know that this is universal. And if they say, well, actually it is not used in more than 3 countries, so means it's not widespread use. B, fact that it is voluntary for supermarkets. It is voluntary for supermarkets means they do it or not. It's up to them whether they do it or they don't do it. So it is voluntary. Voluntary means it is not compulsory. Right? Depends on them. If they want to do it, they can do it. Otherwise, they don't do it. So if they say it is surprising that it is actually voluntary, then it's the answer. Otherwise, if they use any other word, so that can be a different one. So not being adopted, for not being adopted means it is voluntary for supermarkets, means they have not actually adopted it. That also means the same. C, how little research was done before its introduction. Now, if they say in the audio like brought in without enough concentration or consultation. So how little research was done before its introduction. Say brought in means introduction. Without enough consultation means it was introduced with a little research done before. So if they use anything like that, then that can be the answer. And if they say they did a lot of research before they introduced, then this is not the answer. Again, I'm telling you, there are 5 options. Out of 5 options, they will speak about 2 options positively. Those 2 options are your answers, and other 3 options will be discussed oppositely, negatively, right? So they are distractions and they are the wrong answers. Okay, its unpopularity with food manufacturers, like traffic light system is not very popular with food manufacturers. For that they can say the food manufacturers don't want a label not to buy the product, for example. Okay, traffic light system means if you put a red label on a product, red label means warning, this product contains high level of fats and sugar and all that. Just imagine if there is a Coke and on the Coke they write warning, injurious to health and sugar and this and that and that. So I mean unpopularity with food manufacturers if they say like that. And E is way that certain colors are used. So what surprise? Now actually they will talk about all 5 options, but out of 5 options, 2 options will be surprising for them. It was shocking, I was shocked to learn, it was amazing, I was amazed to see. When they speak like that, after that usually there is the right answer. Now questions 29 and 30, choose 2 letters. Which 2 things are true about the participants in the study on the traffic light system? 2 things true. So they will talk about 5 things. Out of 5, 3 things are false or wrong, and 2 things are true about the participants in the study. Study means research. People who participated in the research on the traffic light system. Now traffic light system is not actually the light system, it's just labeling the food. Red means high salt, high fats, yellow means normal salt, normal fats, and green means absolutely fine for health and all that. Okay, so they had low literacy levels. The participants had low literacy levels. If they say participants level of education was low, then this is the answer. If they say all the participants were highly educated, all the participants were graduates from a university, so then it is not low literacy level. Okay. Option B, they were regular consumers of packaged food. If they say all the participants of the research were actually the regular consumers of the packaged food and all that. So if they say most of them did not even use packaged foods, for example, packaged food. So most of them were not the regular users of packaged food. So then this is not the answer. C, they were selected randomly. If they say they selected all the participants randomly means from any order, any number, one from there, one from there, and otherwise they selected from one group, so that is not random. See, in Ielts we say random order and question order, it's just like that. D, they were from all socio-economic group. When they say they were from all socio-economic group, then they can say that they were from different groups like middle class, upper class, higher class and all that, socio-economic groups. And E, they were interviewed face to face. So they say if they hadn't interviewed participants face to face, we couldn't find it. It means they interviewed them face to face. Right? For example, if I say if you hadn't gone to Australia, that means you went to Australia. Right? So if they say if they hadn't interviewed participants face to face, we could not find all the details. That means they were introduced face to face. And by the way, over here, they means participants of the research. Okay, I told you this is a confusing test, but don't worry. Now I play the audio. Out of 5 options, select 3 wrong options and you will be left with the right ones. So on a piece of paper, you can write 27, 28, 29, 30, right? And then I play the audio, find the answers, check the answers. Answer sheet is given at the end, answer key is there. Check your answers and then tell me out of 4, how many answers are correct. Those who are looking for 8777, they should have 3 correct answers out of 4. Those who are looking for 7, or maybe 6.5 to 7, they can make do with 2 correct answers, and those who are looking for 5.5, 1 correct answer is everything for them. Okay, all the best. I also teach Ielts online. If you want to join my online Ielts classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. I am fasting and making videos. This is the 7th video I made today. Yeah, all the best. Let's take a start with listening.
Now listen and answer questions 27 to 30.
What do you think of the traffic light system?
I think supermarkets like the idea of having a colour-coded system, red, orange or green, for levels of fat, sugar and salt in a product.
But it's not been adopted universally, and not on all products. Why do you suppose that is?
Pressure from the food manufacturers. Hardly surprising that some of them are opposed to flagging up how unhealthy their products are.
I'd have thought it would have been compulsory. It seems ridiculous it isn't.
I know. And what I couldn't get over is the fact that it was brought in without enough consultation. A lot of experts had deep reservations about it.
That is a bit weird. I suppose there's an argument for doing the research now when consumers are familiar with this system.
Yeah, maybe.
The participants in the survey were quite positive about the traffic light system.
But I don't think they targeted the right people. They should have focused on people with low literacy levels, because these labels are designed to be accessible to them.
Yeah. But it's good to get feedback from all socio-economic groups, and there wasn't much variation in their responses.
No. But if they hadn't interviewed participants face-to-face, they could have used a much bigger sample size. I wonder why they chose that method.
Dunno. How were they selected? Did they volunteer or were they approached?
I think they volunteered. The thing that wasn't stated was how often they bought packaged food. All we know is how frequently they used the supermarket.